Good afternoon. Today is Monday, January 22nd, and I'm calling to order this meeting of the voting meeting for Knox County Commission. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Lundy. Here. Commissioner Durrett.
Here.
Commissioner Oster.
Here.
Commissioner Ward.
Here.
Commissioner Schoonmaker.
Here.
Commissioner Hill.
Here.
Commissioner Lee.
Here.
Commissioner Beeler.
Here.
Commissioner Daly.
Here.
Commissioner Jay.
Here.
Commissioner Frazier.
Present.
All 11 members are present.
Thank you. Also on the podium here to my far right is Director Moyers with the Law Department, and to my left from the Clerk's Department are Haley Evans and Kim Ellis. We also have up on the podium one of our junior commissioners from District 2. Would you like to say your name, please?
William Mendoza Uceda.
William Mendoza-Serra.
Uceda, yeah, nice.
Got that? Thank you, thank you. Also, are there any elected officials that have come in? Seeing none, I want to say welcome back, Happy New Year. It took us a long time to say that this for 2024, didn't it? Moving on, we'll have our devotional by Commissioner Jay.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It is my distinct pleasure to welcome to our commission meeting today Deacon Walt Odie from the Most Sacred Heart of Jesus to welcome us and bring our devotional to the podium. Thank you, sir, for being with us today.
Let us pray. Good and gracious God, we are thankful on behalf of all that are gathered here today. We thank you for the many and abundant blessings. We thank you for the gift of life itself and for the measure of health we need to fulfill our callings. We thank you also for the ability to be involved in useful work and for the honor of bearing appropriate responsibilities. In sacred scriptures, you have said that citizens ought to obey the governing authorities, since you have established those very authorities to promote peace, order, and justice. Therefore, I pray for our mayor, for the various levels of county officials, and in particular for this assembled commission. I ask that you graciously grant them wisdom to govern amid the conflicting interests and issues of our time, a sense of the welfare and true needs of our community, a keen thirst for justice, confidence in what is good and fitting, the ability to work together in harmony even when there is honest disagreement, and personal peace in their lives and joy in their tasks. I pray for the agenda set before them today. Please give an assurance of what would please you and what would benefit those who live and work around our beloved Knox County. We ask all this through Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. Moving on to the pledge, and I see our Girl Scout troop could not make it today, but I'm turning that matter over to Commissioner Durrett.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Moving on to amendments to the agenda. These items will be a little bit of change for our sitting agenda. We will be adding item number 10. We are deferring until February, item 27 and 33. We are deferring until March, item 46. Item 3 has been withdrawn. On our non-consent, we have items 29, 30, 34 through 39. Again, non-consent, 29, 30, 34 through 39. Are there any further amendments to the agenda? I apologize. Withdrawal is number 31. I believe I said 3. We're withdrawing item 31. My apologies. All right, further amendments.
Madam Chair, thank you. I need to postpone number 44 for 30 days, please.
All righty. 30, deferred until, so you want 44 deferred until the February meeting. All right?
44.
44, item 44.
Thank you.
All right. Seeing no other
Wait.
changes or lights, Commissioner Beeler, did you have a comment?
Oh, no, I was going to make the motion, but I will.
Oh, thank you. Please do. Please
Certainly.
do.
Motion to set the agenda as amended.
Second.
Thank you. Motion by Beeler, second by Durant. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I'm looking for a motion, please, to approve the educational and government consent calendar.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Jay, second by Frazier. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next item, please. Yes.
Item number 28, presentation of the quarterly Fire and Technical Rescue Committee report by Director Brent Seymour.
Welcome. Mr. Seymour, if you'd give your name and address, please.
Am I on? Thank you. Brent Seymour, 1630 Huron Street, 37917. Again, thank you for the opportunity to give a report. We really appreciate the support that you guys give us in the endeavor. What you see is our Fire and Technical Rescues report for the last quarter. You'll notice that, again, like most quarters, our call volume's up. We're not getting any slower. With a rapidly expanding community and population, we continue to see elevated levels of service all across the county. One of the most things I'm excited about for the last quarter, because I know how hard both of these, or one of these, are to do, much less two, and that's open a firehouse and get a new fire truck. And Carnes managed to do both last quarter. That's great. With a rapidly growing community out there, and they're able to elevate their level of service provision out there and provide an even better level of service and quicker response to the citizens of that community, I think is a great testament to their leadership and their membership, because either one of those by itself is very difficult to accomplish. And they were able to do both. And that's really neat. I geek out a little bit on new trucks and new firehouses because they're so obviously you see that happen, but to be able to do that is really good. And they graduated a recruit academy, added 7 members to their force out there, which is great. The more people we can get into the business, we like that a lot. It's hard to recruit for public service type work now. So 7 new members in the Carnes community is awesome. You'll see there with Knox County Rescue over the holidays and stuff, they did a whole lot of community service stuff as well, delivering food baskets, Santa Claus for some kids in the community, able to provide them with some gifts and some other things like that, and able to make Christmas special for several members in that community. And again, one of the big topics, although we had a burn ban in place for several weeks last quarter, we still had over 200 separate incidents of grass and brush fires in Knox County. It's pretty incredible. I know folks hear burn ban and you're like, no, I'm not going to set my leaves on fire. I'm not going to set my brush on fire. But they don't think about the smaller things like the fire pits getting hot with the leaves and the brush around their fire pit area. We had a couple of those that actually flamed up and extended into a couple of structures. So they weren't out burning their, stuff on their property. They were actually, a fire pit type fire or something, or a grill, the wind blew the grill over, things like that. So 200 separate incidents of brush and grass fires last quarter. A couple of those, as one of the pictures, that's the picture in the what I call Concord Marina area. I know that's been renamed.
Wow.
That could have been, although it looks pretty good, that could have been much worse, thanks to the dedication of that wildland team that Knox County was able to, or Metro was able to form for Knox County, that deployable asset. They really mitigated that situation and made it much less than what it could have been. And there was another one or two that they really had an impact on. That wildland team activated and got out there and stopped that progression and was able to limit the damage to what we know happened, other than maybe a couple of structures involved or something like that out there. So kudos to those folks. That's a great asset and a great resource for the county, and we're proud to have those folks in the system. And then on the end there, you'll see Seymour. They've updated a couple of their rehab trailers. So that's a traffic and rehab trailer that they were able to acquire. They've outfitted that with, obviously, for major highway incidents and rehab for their firefighters on the scene. The trailer that was doing that, they're able to transition that trailer into some technical rescue transportation capabilities, because again, like all of our departments in our county, we're expanding services and we're increasing what we're able to do and the level of service we're able to provide. So we're real happy with that. That's a great addition to that area in South Knoxville down there. And Chief Linson Bigler and his crews went a long way into trying to make that happen. And that's pretty much it, pretty quick. I know you guys got a full agenda today. Any questions? Am I having questions for me?
Thank you. Questions? Commissioner Frazier?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Really, it's just a comment. I just wanted to commend our fire and rescue agencies that really stepped up during the storm. We saw just a great approach to responses and all of our agencies coming together. It was really wonderful. I heard from several of them, checked in with many of them, and the way that they were coming together and utilizing each other's resources, vehicles, to keep people we can't get huge fire trucks into some of these areas that have 4 inches of ice. And so they were utilizing other agencies' vehicles. And that was just great to see, great to hear about. And so I just wanted to commend our fire and rescue services for really stepping up and helping where they could. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. And it's hard to quantify something that didn't happen. And I have no doubt that we kept some apparatus from being damaged. Obviously, you more than likely well aware of the fire truck that turned over on Emory Road. Fortunately, nobody was hurt there. But I have no doubt that those four-wheel drive vehicles ran almost 1,300 calls in about that 8 to 10 day period right there. And what a lot of people don't realize is the same crews working the four-wheel drive units that are working the fire trucks. And a lot of folks don't think about that. When they'll work the four-wheel drive units, they'll sleep for hours, then they'll go back on shift at the firehouse. So those same crews worked those 8 or 10 days with rest periods nonstop. And you have to do that because you don't have the staff to be able to do both. Because we put 10 or 12 four-wheel drives on duty with at least 2, if not 3, and to gather those folks, aside from the folks that are working the rescue, the engines and the medic units, is pretty difficult to do. So hopefully you guys, next report or in the coming weeks, you'll have some data on everything that went on with that. And if you don't, I'd be happy to share what I have with you next time around. But thank you for that. We really appreciate that.
Thank you. Any other comments? Thank you, and please extend thanks to all of the departments and EMS and for us. We certainly appreciate the response. Thank you. Just as a side note, I've had a couple of requests for a report from Director Snowden about what we've just come through. I made the decision to let him catch his breath and kind of pull things together. So next month, we'll be hearing from him a little bit about the response and some of the statistics about things that were used and their man hours and that type of thing too. So I think we'll all look forward to that. earlier asked for elected officials, and I see Mayor Jacobs, you've joined us. Thank you so much. Next item, please. We have, for public forum, we have no one on agenda items. Thank you. The public forum for non-agenda items will be at the end. All right, next item, please.
Next item is the approval of minutes of previous meeting.
Thank you, and I'll add that we are approving the minutes for the December 11th workshop and the December 18th regular session. Do I have a motion, please? Motion by Durrett, second by Frazier. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
Item number 29 is consideration of acceptance of new county roads. A, Red Barn Road. B, Lady May Lane. These are located in Coward Mill, District 6.
I'll make a motion to approve. Is there a second? Second. Motion by Hill, second by Oster. Are there any comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 30 is line item transfers, total amount of $1,924,516.06.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Jay, second by Schoonmaker. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Budget amendment has been withdrawn. Next item.
We had 176 notary applications received.
Motion to approve? Yes.
I'm one of those this month. So I am a notary.
Motion to approve.
Yeah,
Motion to deny.
You might have to recuse yourself on this vote.
I recuse myself. from this vote.
And it only took 3 tries for you to get it, is that correct?
Yeah, and $67.
Do I have a motion to approve this item?
Motion to approve?
And a second?
Sure.
Motion to approve by Schoonmaker, second by Beeler. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
Item number 32, spread of record, the District Attorney General's appointment of Caitlin Smith to the Knox County Employee Insurance Benefits Committee, which term expires December 31st, 2027.
Thank you. Next item.
Item number 34, Resolution 901, amending the Knox County Commission rules to include the agenda work session in Rule 1, Section A, convening the commission, and to delete Rule 1, Section U, agenda work session.
Thank you. And I'll ask Commissioner Frazier as the Rules Chair to address this.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Items 34 through 36 are really administrative amendments to the commission rules that came out of the December 7th Rules Committee meeting. Agenda item 34 is a resolution to include the agenda work session to Rule 1, Section A, convening the commission, and to delete Rule 1, Section U, agenda work session. Basically, we're just cleaning up and condensing the language, and it eliminates the need for an additional section for work sessions.
Thank you. If you'd like to go on with 35 and 36, that would be fine.
I would be happy to. 35 is a resolution to add a new section to address attendance for county boards and committees. The Rules Committee offers the attached attendance policy for your review and approval to serve as the general attendance expectations for not only commissioners serving on boards and committees, but also provides a reference attendance policy for county affiliated boards and committees to adopt. This is part of the Rules Committee's effort to review the policies and procedures, structure, and purpose of county affiliated boards and committees. And since attendance has negatively impacted the work and mission of some of our boards and committees, we kind of started with attendance. So the policy simply states that the chair has the discretion to determine if an absence is excused or unexcused. And should a board member or committee member fail to attend at least 75% of the meetings within a 12-month period, the chair of the board or committee can call and discuss the attendance and next steps. We also provided a breakdown for guidance of those meetings. If they're monthly, bi-monthly, quarterly, biannually, kind of gave them a guide. On Agenda item 36, again, it's a resolution that adds a new section to address the receipt and distribution of anonymous correspondence addressed to commission as requested by Commissioner Schoonmaker. The new section K, titled Anonymous Correspondence, it states that any correspondence delivered to the commission office or to the commission email address or otherwise that is anonymous will not automatically be distributed to commission members, but will be forwarded to the commission chair for consideration. So there you have it. That's a kind of a brief summary of those for you all to consider. And I
Thank you.
appreciate your support.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions on item 34? Commissioner Lee? All right, questions on 35. Commissioner Lee?
We should probably vote on it.
Oh, all right, all right. Do I have a motion to approve 34, item 34?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Frazier, second by Durant. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 35, I'll go ahead and take a motion.
Motion to approve.
I have a question on 35.
Motion by Frazier, second by Durant. Is there any discussion? Commissioner Lee?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. My question on 35 is the charter's been 34 years. There's been a lot of very good commissioners, smart commissioners. Why this is coming to now, and who decides? And you said the chair of the commission, or is this the chair of the committee? And my concern is one elected official going to be able to silence another elected official?
Thank you. Commissioner Frazier, would you like to address the discussion in the Rules Committee?
Sure. Actually, this came about with seeing some attendance problems in some of the boards and committees, and it was negatively impacting the ability to have a quorum and to vote. For instance, we had one committee that was unable to even vote and pass minutes from a meeting that happened 4 months prior. And so it really started there. And then also talking to several of the chairs of some of the boards and committees, they were very much in favor of having just a standard policy that they could use as a guideline, because right now several of our boards and committees don't have a lot of structure or bylaws. And so we're really trying to address that. And it's just a good standard of practice to have an attendance policy. Having been an HR director, that's something that, I personally feel like it's just a good best practice approach. Do I think that it would silence another elected official? It is my opinion that it does not. I'll defer to Mr. Moyers on that. But then also, what was your third point? You asked about. Oh, the chair. It would be the chair. Yeah, it would be the chair of the committee or board. Yes, absolutely. No, the chair of the committees or the boards. Yes. Mr. Moyers, did you want to respond to the silencing of another elected official?
I'm not really sure what's meant by that question, honestly. Can you elaborate?
Well, my question is, the way that reads, you're saying that the chair could kick somebody off the board. Are you talking about the commission?
No, this is not about commission. We serve on several county-affiliated boards and committees. And if we serve on that board and committee and they want to adopt this attendance policy, then we fall within those guidelines. But there are several that we don't serve on, BZA, Planning Commission as well. But we're not talking about attendance of commission meetings. If you're referring to as an elected official, the people get to decide that. If they're unhappy with a commissioner's attendance, the people decide that. This body doesn't decide that, nor does our commission chair. We're talking about county-affiliated boards and committees.
Thank you.
Commissioner Schoonmaker?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm in full support of this attendance policy. And the main reason is when I first got on commission, we, members of the audit committee, where there's only 3 commissioners and 2 CPAs, they were running into an issue where they would have meetings and they couldn't get a quorum. And so that's how I actually got on the audit committee, was because the commissioner that was supposed to be serving in that committee was a no-show, and so they resigned, and I was able to get on that. But, otherwise, they're holding, basically 6 meetings a year and they can't vote because they don't have a quorum. So I think this is an excellent idea. Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? We have a proper motion and second on the floor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 36, do I have a motion to,
Motion to approve.
Second.
we have a proper motion and second on the floor by Frazier, second by Schoonmaker. Any comments or questions? Commissioner Daly?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I support this, but I really think it should be 0. Once an anonymous letter or email comes in, it shouldn't be forwarded at all. Because if you're not brave enough to put your name on there, it shouldn't even be considered. But I'll support this, so that's my opinion.
Well, I appreciate that, and probably more likely than not, whoever is the chair would tend to support that also. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, do we have a proper motion on the floor? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
Item number 37, ordinance O-24-1-101, repealing Chapter 22, Article 5, Sections 22-126, 22-127, 22-128, 22-129, and 22-130 of the Knox County Code relative to the EMS Medical Services Cost Review Board. Ordinance number O-02-8-101, adopted September 12th, 2002.
Thank you. Do I hear a motion? Motion by Daly, second by Durrett. Are there any comments or questions? Commissioner Schoonmaker.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Since we didn't have a chance to talk about this during a work session, maybe we could have a brief overview from the Director of the Knox County Health Department?
Certainly. Is he here?
Sure is.
While he's coming, yes, go ahead, Commissioner Daly.
This is a first reading, so we will have a second bite at the apple on this one.
As you're coming forward, if you just give us your name and address, please.
Kevin Parton, Knox County Health Department. So what this basically does in the new contract that was approved last winter, the fee schedule is associated and indexed against Medicare. And so it automatically changes every single year. So this board is no longer needed.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions?
Easy enough.
And as a note, in the decade of the contract, the board only met once.
Thank you. All right. Seeing no other lights, this does require a roll call. Madam Clerk, we'll start with District 1.
Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Durrett, Commissioner Oster,
Aye.
Commissioner Ward,
Aye.
Commissioner Schoonmaker,
Aye.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Commissioner Lee, Commissioner Beeler,
Aye.
Commissioner Daly,
Aye.
Commissioner Jay, Commissioner Frazier.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Parton. Next item.
Item number 38 is ordinance O-23-12-102, amending the Knox County Code, Chapter 42, Article 2, Division 2, Sections 42-62B to allow a right of grievance for suspensions of any time length that result in a loss of pay. Ordinance number O-90-9-111, adopted September 10th, 1990, and ordinance number O-22-6-103, adopted July 25th, 2022, and this is on second reading.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Frazier, second by Durant. Is there any discussion on this item? Seeing no lights, this requires a roll call vote.
Commissioner Durrett? Commissioner Oster?
Aye.
Commissioner Ward?
Aye.
Commissioner Schoonmaker?
Aye.
Commissioner Hill?
Aye.
Commissioner Lee? Commissioner Beeler?
Aye.
Commissioner Daly?
Aye.
Commissioner Jay?
Aye.
Commissioner Frazier?
Aye.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
Thank you. That motion passes anonymously. Next item.
Item number 39, ordinance.
Anonymously. It's been a minute, y'all. I'm sorry. It was unanimous. Oh, thank you. Next item.
Item number 39, ordinance O-23-12-103, amending the Knox County Code, Chapter 14, Community Development, by adding a new Article 3 to designate Knox County as a broadband-ready community pursuant to Tennessee Code annotated subsection 4-3-709, Knox County Code, Chapter 14, establishing Article 3 previously reserved, and this is on second reading.
Thank you. Is there a motion? Motion by Durant, second by Frazier. Is there any discussion on this item? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Oster?
Aye.
Commissioner Ward?
Aye.
Commissioner Schoonmaker?
Aye.
Commissioner Hill?
Aye.
Commissioner Lee? Commissioner Beeler?
Aye.
Commissioner Daly?
Aye.
Commissioner Jay? Commissioner Frazier? Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Durrett?
Thank you. This one does pass unanimously. Oh. Moving on now to public forum on open topics. We have 3 speakers signed up. The first one is Kevin Murphy. Is Kevin here? All right, we'll call for him again at the end. Barry Marshall. Mr. Marshall, if you give your name and address, please, and I'll give you 5 minutes to speak.
Okay. Thank you, Chair Hill. My name is Barry Marshall, 5518 West Emory Road. 2 things. One is kind of an update. 8 months ago, we had a pro cycling event here in Knoxville. Since our county budget, I guess somewhere between 65% of the county budget goes toward schools, I kind of wanted to give an update. That day, I'm a cycling fan, so I came and watched both events. And it was a good day, other than the rain for the men. But the main reason I was there that day was for the protest against Austin Killips, transgender female cycling. And there was a lot of us there for that protest. And at that time, she could be in the event. A month later, after the work that we did, Riley Gaines did, our county mayor was there, the ruling became down that you had to go through puberty to you could, if you had gone through puberty, you could not do that. So I just wanted to say that I think it's very important to keep this effort up, because where this is coming from, it's not from red states and blue states. It was unfortunate we had a politician who wants to chair this commission there speaking about that when we had a registered elite athlete from a registered Democrat from California flew in on her own dime to speak with us. But the view should be more like our mayor that day was talking about. It's a simple fairness issue. I appreciated him commenting about his 2 daughters and being allowed to have fairness. I have a daughter, 4 granddaughters, 3 foster girls, and one of them just had a baby girl. So I think it's important for us to know that where that pressure comes from, it's not from red states and blue states, but it's from professional It's from the prize money. Then that comes through the NCAA. Then that comes down into our schools. So I just want you to keep up the pressure on that. With my remaining 3 minutes, I have a comment about last week's communications from the county spokesperson regarding the snow. Apparently, there was, some issues back and forth regarding the mayor's whereabouts and such. I really, in analyzing it, and a lot of my friends feel there were no issues. I mean, everybody has time off. As long as the time is there to take and no county expenses were used, which I'm sure they weren't. That's up to finance, but I would say that's fine. The problem I have is Mike Dinella making the statement that electing Donald Trump is county work, and that was the mayor's opinion. That is not county work. I know, we all know what county work is, Parks and Rec, Public Works, on and on, security, et cetera. It wasn't county work in 1988 when I was 18 years old. Dwight Kessel was the executive, and I couldn't pull the lever for Baker then because I wasn't 18, but I eventually pulled it for Reagan. But it wouldn't have been appropriate for a county spokesperson to say who I should vote for or who the mayor's opinion is to vote for. It wouldn't have been appropriate in '94 when my football coach, Tommy Chumpert, at Central, if he would have said, well, you need to be for Bob Dole instead of Alexander. There's two U.S. districts in the nation, Colorado 3 and Georgia 14, that have turned it into freak shows because of this type of thing about government leading people. Knox County is an extremely professional county. So is the city. We have great workers in both the city and the county. And I don't want us to go down a road of having county officials make statements that have anything to do with what any human being who's allowed to vote, who they should vote for. It's probably illegal, the statement that was made. It's highly inappropriate. I'm not for our current naked emperor, and I don't want another naked emperor to replace that one. I'm going with an intelligent woman, but again, that's my opinion. If I was on this board, it would be highly inappropriate for me to state in my role what any of you or any of the 400,000 people in our county should do on that point. And so, again, I just hope that we can get a little more professional as far as the communication that's put out by the spokesman on issues like that in the future. Chair Hill, I thank you for the time.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Our next person signed up is Vivian Shipe. Sorry, Vivian. Vivian, were you just addressing one item?
Yes.
All right. If you give us your name and address, and you'll have 3 minutes.
Yes. Vivian Shipe, 3615 MLK, Knoxville, Tennessee, 37914. I'm coming before you today to speak to you about the last 10 days and what occurred during those last 10 days when we had the warming centers. First thing I want to do is I want to thank Larson J. publicly, because what I saw when I saw him go with the mobile meals was so important. I know everybody can do what they can do from where they were at, but when you know people who cannot get food, when you are snowed in and your meals come every day, and those trucks came out there from far and wide to get to the people that they could get to, lives were saved. So I know you're a humble person, you won't accept that, but understand that I see you. And God says you will call out those. You don't have to speak for yourself. The Lord shall speak for you. And what was happening this past week was very spiritual. I'm just going to tell you. All right? We were walking in Matthew 25, 35, 40 moment. We were walking in Proverbs 19, 17 moment. Okay? God was separating the wheat from the chaff last week. There was a lot of tests last week, and a lot of people failed. Your people in the city and the county did not fail. They came out of the woodwork. When I tell you lives were saved, if you were in the warming centers when we were sitting out the food and trying to get the clothes to them, and people were saying, yay, we got underwear. That's a major thing. When you see a 3-month-old baby being held by an elder man so the mother can eat, when you were seeing, what you saw was human. It wasn't party. It wasn't political. It was the humanness of us coming out. Lives were saved last week. And I had to come and I had to say that. I've already been to city council and I was coming to you guys. I wasn't here Monday, but God got my message to say, you need to call the county. Because I'm thinking you're next week. And they said, oh no, they're today at 2:00. And here I am. So I want y'all to understand one thing that we saw. It's not just the addicted. There were new people. There were new homeless out there. People are in need. So where I'm here today is don't let this be the end of it. Right now, give up your buildings, those empty buildings, those nuisances buildings, give them up. Put money into the hands of the ones that are doing the work, okay? This is not over, okay? We have got to take care of the least of us. We are a great city and we're a great county. The city sits in the county. So you all are the shepherds. So I'm just coming before you to say thank you to you, thank you to the mayors, thank you to everybody that did what you can do. But this cannot be the end of it, and it will not be the end of it. The Lord sees, understand that. You all put your hand on the Bible and took oaths to take care of everybody. Last week was a test. What you can do in your spirit is say, did I pass it? Thank you.
Thank you, Vivian. Did Kevin Murphy come in? I don't believe I've seen him. All right. That ends our public forum. Is there any other business that this commission would like to discuss? Commissioner Schoonmaker?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I guess yesterday, we got a notice from the executive director of the Tennessee County Commissioners Association. And if you didn't get the email, please let me know and I'll forward that to you. But this is kind of one of those call to action times, and apparently because nothing is in black and white in Nashville as far as what's going on, the intent is to restrict counties' ability to raise funds. In other words, they want to put a cap on the amount of property tax that you can collect, a cap of 2% per year. Well, a couple of reasons I'm against that. Logically, what if you're a very rural county and you have some event that drastically changes your dynamics and you need to be able to raise money quickly? Most of those counties only can do that through property tax. Well, if there's a cap, all of a sudden now you're not going to have a balanced budget, and there could be some serious consequences to your bond rating for your county. Now, Knox County, as much as we, generate in property tax, a 2% cap possibly could work for us. But it's not fair for the state to come in and mandate to how the counties can derive their revenue. The state can raise their revenue anytime they want to. We don't have any voice to say, no, you can't do that. So, if you know your local representative personally over the weekend, it'd be great to reach out and say, hey, this is just not right. It's not right at all. And they have no business trying to say how a county can generate revenue from their property taxes. So thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Any other comments? I would just like to add, I appreciate the cooperation of the entire commission. It's been challenging on a lot of levels these last couple of weeks, and we've had to push around a lot of meetings, and I appreciate very much the way everyone has gotten on board and allowed us to move forward on short notice. So seeing no other lights, this meeting is adjourned.